terms of my horsemanship stuff for today, I really want to go play with my little horse, but I'm going to turn her out. She needs today off. I'm still in like that clinic cloud or that clinic bubble of good feelings. That's probably why I'm handling my work shit okay. And I do have some other stuff going on that's just like logistical shit that I hate, that I am not good at. It's not my temperament to have patience with these types of things. Like I need to take the car into the shop, those kinds of things. Oh, that just reminded me of another issue. Oh well. See, again, double and triple book. There's another thing at work that's a logistical problem. I won't even get into it. I'm triple booked on one day. It's not good. I'm like, how? Here's the thing. I guess I am going to get into it. Here's the thing. How did I get triple booked on a day when I'm not even going to a face-to-face classroom? It's mind-boggling. Okay, so horsemanship those. I'm super, super stoked with Where I Left Zoe. I am just going to plan on turning her out today. This week should be fairly good weather, so I should be able to work with her. I was just thinking today as I was leaving, because I'm about an hour later than usual because I had some stuff to do at home. I was just thinking about how I am going to miss my little bubble of just having like it was so nice the last 3 days to be able to just go to the round pen and work in the round pen for as long as I wanted and not have anything too crazy. You know, there were a couple challenging things, like her sister out in the pasture and the bull, although she wasn't worried about the bull. She was thinking about her sister, but she wasn't worried about that bull. You know, but the other horses, you know, getting a little engaged in the other horses, but still leading past Rory when he's tied up is nothing compared to some of the other things that happen at Camelot. So, feeling like I don't want to give that up, but obviously I have to. And I am excited to get to go out there today and spend some time with Wyatt. I missed his soft little face. And to get to play with some of the things, because I think I had a couple pretty big I had several pretty big aha moments. Things that I'd maybe one thing that I had never considered and I think is going to really help both my horses. I've just never been introduced to it the way that I got introduced to it. Well, okay, if Julie's ever tried to tell me that before, it did not sink in. It sunk in enough this weekend that I can kind of start playing with it, and I played with it a little bit with Wyatt the other day, last night, and it way de-escalated a situation that might have been pretty, he might have had some bad feelings about. So, that I'm super excited to go play with him with that. I think I also had some stuff, this is not at all surprising. I had some Wyatt baggage bubble up at a couple different times, because of more, you know, clearly I have long had baggage about how he's been treated in the past, and that's hurt him, and I've never wanted to contribute to that. And then I've had to get to a point where I was like, you know, for a while I was like, okay, I probably didn't make this too much worse, but I wasn't very effective in getting him over that, and I have a little bit of guilt about that. But then I try to let that go, because fuck if I knew any ways to help him. You know, I was trying my best, and I to my credit, I was at least keeping away from doing things that would have made it too much worse, or a couple times when maybe those things popped up, I ended it. I'm thinking of 2 lessons that I ended. I was like, this is not good. And let's see. But I think something else that's really come up with me since I started working with Zoe, and then a lot this weekend, was I see some places where maybe my ineffectiveness might have left worry in there, or even put a little bit of worry in there. I think I see the places where I fought with the horse that I wasn't intending to fight with him, just as a lack of, and here's the thing, I say a lack of knowledge on my part, but I don't know too many people who had the knowledge that I needed to help him through those things effectively. So it's not like that I've been on that search, but I do have some sadness, maybe a little bit of guilt, and some sadness that, you know, I've had the sadness about sending him to bucking school for a long time, and part of why that was so hard for me to work through, and I might not have 100% worked through it, is because it had a twist in my gut the whole time. And I was gonna say I didn't do anything about it, but it's because I wanted to. Like, I wanted to change that situation, and I didn't feel like I couldn't. My only other way of changing that situation would have been to put him down, because I didn't have anywhere else to take him. So, I guess I did the right thing if I put it in that dramatic of a context. But I think I did have some things pop up this weekend where I was like, oh, missed that with Wyatt. Oh, missed that with Wyatt. Probably would have made him feel a lot better if I had done this. So in some ways, it's kind of amazing that he's gotten to feeling as good as he has. Probably tells you how bad they just want to feel better. But I think I have sadness. It's not so much guilt. I have sadness for a horse that I know could have really been something special, and he had that taken away from him by most of the by people in his life, including me, unfortunately. Not that any of us were, the last people to have him, myself and Austin and Christine, we didn't have any bad feelings towards him. We were just doing the best we could. And I think I've always known that, but I have such a more specific and clear idea of what some of those things were that were contributing. It's so much deeper than just the ring rope. For a long time it just seemed to me that it was the ring rope and the mindlessness, and now I'm like, nope, it's this spot here, and it's this spot here, and it's this spot here. But good news is that he's still in my life, and I see him every day, and one, he's so much happier than he was, and two, I still have opportunities with him to just get this much more, or maybe it's a lot more, whatever it is. It won't involve riding, but just to take him to just get a little bit better here and a little bit better there, so that horse really gets to feeling every little ounce of trouble that comes out of him is he's going to be in the best in the long run. So I have to say I did have some sadness come up about that. And last year, one of the things that I really had to confront, nobody had ever said this to me before, and it hadn't dawned on me until Julie said it. I remember we were sitting there at lunch one day, and she said, it's okay to feel sad. I think Amy was really stuck on my guilt feelings, which I did. I did have some guilt that I've mostly worked through, but I have a lot of sadness, and I think some of my sadness is Wyatt's sadness. And that sadness, I feel pain for him. And I think that I have decided not to try to fight that, to just let it be what it is. It doesn't mean that I don't still try to help him out or try to help him feel better about the things that do bother him, or that I leave trouble inside of him, but that it's okay for me to feel some sadness for what his life could have been, and then just always go back to knowing that I'm still providing him, look, Wyatt, I'm still providing the best life Wyatt could have ever hoped to have after whatever happened to him before I got him. Because even the last week with the thing with the lunge whip, he, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I had to pick up a lunge whip because he was stuck behind a puddle, and I didn't have any other tools to sort of help me. I had the wrong boots on. And just picking up the lunge whip and standing in the center of the arena brought out a lot of worry in that horse. And I thought to myself, okay, well, there's a thing I need to work on. But then I thought to myself, oh, it's so deep. Now, some of the reason why it's still so deep is because he really has a hard time. This has been something else I've really noticed the last 6 weeks, and then, it becomes even more clear to you after you've been to a clinic. He really has a hard time. He still feels like he's being driven a lot of the time, even when that feeling isn't coming from me. It's just a feeling that he's carried for so long in his life. And that's why when I'm directing him, he gets so close to me. He has a really hard time sorting that out. And it's because it got put in him wrong, and it got put in him wrong, and it makes him feel troubled and unsafe. So it's kind of not good on either front. But I also have hope for him that he can maybe work through some of those things, because I think if he gets an opportunity to work through how he feels about the lunge whip, that could actually be a pretty profound change in him, about other things too, that maybe he doesn't get driven everywhere. So I have hope for that as well. It's just that that moment last week, it's not like I ever thought that the pain was gone. It just reminded me. It was such a clear, visible reminder that he carries that with him. You know, it's what got put into him at the very beginning, that somebody's going to whip him or threaten to, you know, for the thing with Wyatt is you don't even have to hit him for him to feel bad about it. So anyway, we are here now and we are going to work with Wyatt today. I don't know if we'll get to the lunge whip, but we'll definitely get to some other stuff.